Are you waiting for a new Ghibli movie? And it's not just like any Ghibli movie, but specifically made by Hayao Miyazaki? Well, actually, I have a great news. We are about to witness the newest and possibly the last ever film created by Hayao Miyazaki. So let's get into it. I don't understand why nobody is talking about this. I mean, when I learned about this news, I was so hyped up and I immediately went into YouTube and looked for anyone talking about. And it seems like not too many people are talking about this. So at the moment, the last released movie that was ever filmed and directed by Hayao Miyazaki is Kazetachinu, which in English, I think it's The Wind Rises, and it was released on 2013. After this movie was released, Miyazaki announced his retirement. So naturally, everyone kind of assumed The Wind Rises is his last film. However, Mr. Miyazaki has this tendency of changing his mind about his retirement. As far as I know, I think he mentioned his retirement when he made Princess Mononoke, which was released in 1997. He also announced retirement after making Spirited Away, which was released in 2001. Despite repeatedly announcing his retirement, I think Miyazaki's retirement announcement in 2013 felt so genuine. I thought he's actually going to retire. Yeah, it's a bit sad. He's getting really old. Did you know he's 84 years old right now? 84 years old, and he's still creating this masterpiece. So when Hayao Miyazaki announced his retirement at 2013, we all thought he's actually going to retire making animation. But it seems like the wind has turned. In 2017, Hayao Miyazaki announced his process of making another long animation film. Everyone cheered. I was so happy to hear about this. Everyone was so happy. Everyone's looking forward to this. But after the announcement, there was no further details released about the film. Studio Ghibli didn't announce anything, any detail. Nothing. So people kind of thought like he was messing with the audience, like he's not actually making this, or maybe Hayao Miyazaki had a heart attack or lung failure. I don't know, but like he's sick and he was going to produce this film, but like they can't. Rumors. And people started to forget about this exciting news. But in December 13, 2022, Ghibli released a poster of the newly anticipated Ghibli film directed by Hayao Miyazaki. And also at the same time, Ghibli announced that this film will be released on July 14, 2023, which is next month. But again, they didn't provide any information further. They just released this mysterious poster. So I think this is not like official announcement, but like there's a lot of leak. This movie is an adaptation of a famous novel called How Do You Live? 君たちはどう生きるのか? Apart from that, not much is known about this film. I've never seen anyone talking about this, even in Japan. This is quite odd because I remember when The Wind Rises was about to release, everyone was talking about, and I remember the news outlet is covered by this information about Kazetachinu. But now, it's strangely silent. No updates are made by Studio Ghibli. It's only a leak or rumor here and there. I think part of the reason why Ghibli is so quiet about this is probably because the recent scandal involving Ghibli CEO, Toshio Suzuki, who directed most of Ghibli's anime along with Hayao Miyazaki. So it seems like there have been reports about Suzuki misusing his company's money due to his infatuation with a woman. Due to this, the former CEO, who is called Koji Hoshino, has resigned after the dispute with Suzuki, as he tried to teach him not to use company money for his own will and got into a big fight. This news came out recently, around March 2023, and Hoshino is denying this, and Suzuki is also denying it. And due to this news, it had brought a really negative attention towards Ghibli. So people are speculating that Ghibli is not promoting this new movie because they actually want to dodge this negative attention brought by Suzuki. It's important to note that any of the allegation of Suzuki's misuse company funds, it's purely a speculation and it's all rumor, and there has not been any legal confirmed information about this. So just keep in that mind. So going back to this latest film, this film is heavily adapted version of book called Kimi tachi wa dou ikiru no ka. Apparently Hayao Miyazaki was reading this book on his own time, and it kind of sparked a lot of inspiration, and he decided to make a film about it. Side note, I've never actually read this book, but this book is really common, famous. Some leaked information suggests that the newest film is going to be an action, adventure, fantasy film. Can I just say I am kind of really happy how Miyazaki trying to end his film career with fantasy film. So let's talk about the original work. I did some research because I don't really know, and I've never read this book. So How Do You Live tells a story about this boy called Kopperu, and he faces a lot of discrimination and bullying throughout his life, and this boy seeks for advice and navigation from his uncle. So maybe you guessed, but this book itself is not fantasy, but it's just adaptation, so it's okay. But I'm really looking forward to how Miyazaki is going to bring this story to life, like he always did. So are you guys excited about this movie? Hayao Miyazaki is currently 84 years old, and he's been working on this last movie for 5 years. Considering about his age, I do anticipate this film is going to be his last ever creation. But somewhere in my heart, I feel like Miyazaki is just gonna return anyway, even in his 90s. I think at this point, he would still make animation films, even in heaven. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know if you want to see a review of this movie once I watch this in a theater. In Japan specifically, this movie would be released on July 14th, but I think it will take longer to reach the other countries. So if you want to test this review, let me know in the comments down below. Bye!